Just want to kind of come in and talk about why you should always have like a learning mindset. So it's kind of interesting how most people stop learning when they're like 25 or when they finish uni or finish high school. And it's kind of interesting why people stop learning because I believe the reason why some people stop learning is because of one, the school system. Because I think the school system is kind of ridiculous. For example, like most of the things I actually learned was not through school, honestly. I actually learned through self education. For example, how I learned photography, how I learned how to make content, how I learned how to talk in front of the camera. It's because I was just curious. I was just curious just to learn. And it's kind of interesting making that point. What I mean, people stop learning after high school, after uni, is that sometimes when you let's say when you start working at a full-time job, right? Let's say you work at a full-time job, right? Let's say you start getting to the corporate world, and then you meet one of your co-workers who's like 40 and 50, and they've been working in the same company for the past 20 years and haven't really moved up. Like maybe they have moved up a little, but they still get that little pay rise. And the reason why they're still in the same position is because they stopped learning. It's just simple as that. Because when you stop learning, you just become the same. And I noticed that with a lot of people. I noticed that the reason why some people don't make a lot of money or don't really grow because they stop learning. And that's what happens, man. That's what happens. Like, for example, if you stop learning today, right, then you just be the same since when you were whenever you started. That's why you always have to consistently keep learning. And the only way you get better at learning is by doing stuff outside your comfort zone. Because when you do things outside your comfort zone, it trains your brain to learn. It trains your brain to problem solve. That's why you can't be rigid in your own ways. Because there's a reason why people stop growing or stop learning because they don't want to get outside their comfort zone. Like for example, right, I've got friends from high school who's still the same since high school because they're too afraid to get outside their comfort zone. They're afraid to go out and actually do shit. And when you don't get outside your comfort zone, you just become complacent and you stop growing as a person. And that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't get outside your comfort zone. Because that's why every day I'm always trying to do something outside my comfort zone. This could be involved recording a video. This could be involved talking to a stranger. This can be involved teaching people. For example, teaching, educating people, public speaking, or setting up something that, or maybe learn like a new language. Because the more you educate yourself, the more you always learn, and the more you learn, the more valuable you become, right? That's how you actually get more money or make more money. You just become more valuable by learning new things, by learning new things that help people get somewhere, if that makes sense. Because let's be real, right? Most people would only want to hang out with you if you have value. It's simple as that. Now, I know it sounds like a dog move, but you have no value to provide to people, people just don't want to hang out with you. Because everything is exchange of value. The friends you hang out, they hang out with you because they want to get something out of you. Like, it's obvious, right? It could be even like a laugh. It could be because they want to feel connected with you, or it could be they want to get like a connection out of you, or they want to make money out of you. That's just how life works. Because everyone's trying to hang out with you because of value. Because at the same time, most people always think that, oh, why would I want to, like, I don't like people just want to hang out with me because they want to use me or use me for sake. But that's how the world works. People want to hang out with you because I want something out of you. That's how the world works, right? And the only way you can really get people to hang out with you, or build like a strong group of people who want to reach out to you, is you always have to have some sort of value. And the only way you gain value is by learning things, by learning like a skill, or always in the mindset to learn new things, always improving. And that's the reason why I'm able to get to certain opportunities, because I'm always learning. Like every time when someone teach me something valuable, I always write down like my notebook. Like see, I've got this notebook. Like right now, I've been like journaling, and if someone gives me something valuable, I always write down my notebooks and always try to execute it. Because when you write it down in your notes, right, it trains your brain to actually remember it. Because if you don't write it down, you're not gonna remember it. That's why you're gonna write things down. Like you're gonna write it down. You write it down because when you write it down, then you remember it. And when you remember it, then you actually will use it. And that's how you actually learn. You learn by actually doing things. Doing things outside your comfort zone that you haven't done before. And the problem is that school doesn't teach you that. School doesn't really teach you how to learn. School just teaches you how to memorize shit and regurgitate it. And because the problem with school is that school just teaches you how to get the results. Like it teaches you, oh, memorize these answers, and if you insert it, you'll get the fucking results, right? But the problem with that mindset is you're not really understanding how things work. You're not understanding, okay, why, if I've memorized these results, how come that will help me get those results? It doesn't teach you the process. Because to actually learn, you got to understand how the process of learning works. And most of the time, understand the process of learning is basically getting out your comfort zone and basically problem solving to that goal you have in mind to get to that outcome. That's what learning is. Like for example, right? When you first time, I'm just gonna use this first time recording a YouTube video, right? When you first time record a YouTube video, you probably noticed that you don't talk well on camera. You're gonna be stuttering a lot. You're gonna say a lot of ums and ers. You're gonna say You're gonna stutter a lot. But as you start recording yourself more, you start to realize, why don't I sound good when I talk on camera? Is it the way how I look? Is it the way I dress? Is it the way how I set up my camera? Is it the way I talk? And you realize that, okay, I noticed that I'm stuttering a lot. And the reason why I'm probably stuttering a lot is maybe because I feel nervous, I feel a bit shy. And the only way you get good at that is that now you start to realize that in order to stop stuttering and saying ums and ers, you realize, oh, I gotta start speaking slowly. I gotta start pausing more. I gotta start talking with more conviction. I gotta understand what I'm talking about. Because maybe the reason why people don't want to talk to me, or maybe because the reason why I don't talk well on camera, is because I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I need to start writing dot points down. Those little things matters, and that's how you learn. You learn by just taking action, and you figure it out on the way. But most people are scared to take action. Most people are scared to get outside the comfort zone to do things. That's why they stop learning. That's why you see like a lot of like grown up. That's why just because someone's 40 or 50 doesn't mean they can give you good advice. They might give you some like life advice, but doesn't mean they can give advice in terms of the goals you want in life. Because everyone's goals are different. Everyone's lifestyle is different. Let's say you want to be a musician and you meet like a 50-year-old. He's not a musician. He's giving you life advice on it. You wouldn't take advice from him because he hasn't done it. So you got to take advice from people who are living the life they are doing, who actually do the thing that you actually want, the same values as you. And the reason why some people stop learning because they're happy. Like they're happy with where they are, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're happy living like a normal, mediocre life. But if you're a pretty ambitious guy and you want to strive for more, you always got to keep learning. So, yeah. Hope this helps. I kind of just thought I'd just make this video because I had this idea for a bit, and I just kind of share something out there in the world. So have a good one. See ya. Bye.